let's discuss my top 5 forgiving drivers for mid to high handicap golfers of 2020. And let's do it now. Hi everyone, James Robinson here. Guys, first things first, I would like to warmly welcome you all to the channel. I'd like to welcome you back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, if you're not new to the channel, I think you got that wrong. But guys, if you are new to the channel, please take 2 seconds to hit that subscribe button below. That way you won't miss any of the great golf related content that I bring to you guys every single day. I'm well aware that I've just given away one of the drivers in here because I saw it out of the corner of my eye. This is number 5 of my top 5 forgiving drivers of 2020 for mid to high handicap golfers. Now, it's always a funny one this because we'll get to this. It's always a funny one calling a driver a mid-handicap driver, a high-handicap driver, or just kind of putting a driver in a bracket for a certain demographic of golfer. Now, for me, these drivers are the most forgiving drivers that I've tested. I've had a few recommendations from other people as well, so such as this. This isn't at number 5, it is the Taylormade Sim Max. It's the non-adjustable version, slightly cheaper version as well. And the reason why this is in here, this almost wasn't going to be in here because I almost didn't see it as a kind of real forgiving driver. But then I asked round a little bit. I asked people who do club fittings. I asked Gary, who works with me here at Huddersfield. And he said that of clubs he's fitted this year, this definitely had to be in there. Now, there are going to be kind of notable mentions for other drivers at the end as well. But yeah, this isn't number 5, the Taylormade Sim Max. I've been gaming the Taylormade Sim all year, the movable weighted version as it were, and I've really enjoyed it. So I can see why a lot of people would enjoy this with the sound, the feel, the looks, the shaft options that you do get as stock. Now, a lot of these drivers, obviously, I would highly recommend if you were going to get them, you would get fitted for them. But a lot of people don't. A lot of people see them on the shelf in the pro shop, they take them out on the golf course, try them, they like them, and they buy them. And I think this is pretty much one of the main culprits for that. And again, I can see why with the feedback you do get from this club. Guys, as always, it's really important to me that you're a part of my videos. And by that was really nice, wasn't it? By that, I mean, I want you to hit those comments below. Guys, I want you to comment what your top 5 forgiving drivers would be if you've tried them. If you haven't tried them, what top 5 would you think there would be? What do you walk into a shop and think, I'll try you, I'll try you, I'll try you, I'll try you. Yeah, and I'll give you a go as well. Because there's some drivers that I know full well kind of high handicap, mid handicap golfers would stay well away from. But then I know there's some that you'd walk straight to, and I'm guessing that they're going to be in my top 3, 2, or even 1. Let's hit one more with the Sim, then let's move on to number 4. Can you guess what that is as well? Get in the comments and let me know. And you see, forgiveness with a driver isn't always about distance. It isn't always about what's it going to spin when you hit it out of here, 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 and here, maybe even like here. It's not always about ball speed off miss hits either. It's about keeping it in a fairway. It's about keeping it in play. This is going really well. Right, number 4, really well. Yes! Taylormade Sim. This is the one negative, the head cover. The Sim's actually ruined my Harbour Town head cover as well. Side note, Sim is done and Mavrik is out. So this is the Callaway Mavrik Max. It is a huge looking driver, which for me fills you with confidence, but it still provides you with that not ridiculously high spin. If you're wanting a forgiving driver, but you don't necessarily need to smash your spin rate up, as you'll see with that strike, oh, it's let me down a little bit actually. It generally for me in testing did sound incredibly well. It sounded incredibly well there, even though I didn't quite get it. It looks, we're not going to mention the colour scheme. I've promised I'm not going to mention the colour scheme. It looks absolutely, what have they done with it? It is we've said we won't mention the colour scheme. Apart from that, it's full of technology. We have the triaxial carbon crown, we have the OptiFit adjustment on the hosel, we have flash face, we have jailbreak technology. It's full of technology. Obviously, there was the standard Mavrik and the Sub-Zero version, and I was torn whether to put this in or the standard Mavrik, but definitely, see, that was a terrible shot, and look at that. I mean, it's done okay, hasn't it? And I do just think that with the size of this thing, with the real estate, it looks like it takes up, even though it is only the standard 460cc, with the different weightings in here to allow for straighter shots, It had to be in the top 5, and for me, it's number 4. There we go. So that's number 4, the Callaway Mavrik Max, and I've tried to stay away from purely just judging these on head size, because I could have just picked the kind of drivers that look the biggest, and like I said, I've tried to stay away from that. The Mavrik's in at number 4. What's number 3? Number 3 is the Mizuno ST200, but it's not this one, but for good reason. I'll explain. You see, it's another one. It could be this one. It could be the standard Mizuno ST200, but Mizuno did release a family of these, you see. I'm going to keep that in. Mizuno did release a family of these this year. We have the ST200, the ST200G, and the ST200X. Now, the ST200X, for me, comes in at number 3 for me, and the Mizuno ST200 is full of technology. We have the wave technology just behind the face for higher COR and ball speed across the face. We have weight saved in the sole and the crown so that Mizuno could distribute the weight more evenly for more forgiveness. The multi-thickness forged SAT BETA 2041 Ti face. I had to read that off there because I just couldn't memorize it. That's supposed to be 17% stronger so that you would again get more ball speed in and around the face on off-center hits. And the main difference being in the 200X that it was a much more lightweight head, a much more lightweight shaft, and we had that heel weighting, again for more forgiveness. Now, one of the bigger talking points which we don't touch on too much because we don't really kind of reflect it and there could be sales on anywhere at any time, but the price of the Mizunos, you can get them for around $299 now, which is absolutely ridiculous when you think about it, when they're full of that much technology. That's number 3. I've just realised I've not told you the reason why I don't have it. My dad's got it. He liked it that much, he's got it, he's taken it. I believe it's in Spain at the moment, and I've told him I need it back to do some more testing with, but COVID and he can't come back yet. So that's why I haven't got it. If that's a seal of approval for you, that's number 3. What's number 2? Now, number 2 was a really, really close one to number 1. It's the Ping G410. Now, we all know this is about to be replaced. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say it because I'm under embargo, but Big Al wasn't, and all a little bit weird. But yeah, the G410 for me in 2019, 2020, you just know what you're going to get with Ping, don't you? It was the first Ping driver to offer adjustability, and I think they nailed it because they kept it relatively simple. And another thing which Ping do, they keep price relatively simple as well. They usually price things really, really well. The G410 was no different. It's not perfect by any stretch. I've just looked down at it and it's reminding me of the hideous turbulators down there. But for me, that's not necessarily a deal breaker. I could come to get used to them. I do really enjoy the matte finish on there as well. The sound isn't amazing, but whenever I do top 5 forgiving videos, be it irons, be it hybrids, be it drivers, Ping are always there and thereabouts. To be honest, usually they win. It just so happens this year I've seen one or hit one which I think might be a little bit better. But that's another fairway hit with the Ping, and this is another recommendation actually from guys in the shop here at Huddersfield Golf Club. He does a lot of club fittings for mid to high handicap players. He said the G410 and the Sim Max were pretty standout this year for him. I've done a lot of testing as well with Mark. I've done a lot of testing with Foxy, and the Ping just never really disappoints. That's why it's in at number 2. What do we think is number 1? Guys, get in the comments below. What do you think is number 1? You've got 5, 4, 3, 2, come on, quick, 1. And that number 1 is, I mean, we've all loved this year, haven't we? It's the Cobra Speedzone, but it's not just any Cobra Speedzone. What about the suspense on this? It's the Cobra Speedzone Extreme, without the E. Yeah. Now, there's many reasons why this has come in at number 1. It was a very, very close call, with the Ping. For me, 2020 has been a year of people who are new to golf. And there's no brand out there, I don't think, that's absolutely saying, welcome to golf. Welcome to golf. Golf is cool. We're glad that you're not playing football anymore. We're glad that you're maybe not playing cricket anymore. We're glad that you've stopped playing baseball because you can't play all these team sports at the moment. Welcome to golf. I think that's what Cobra are doing, and I think the release of the Cobra Speedzone Extreme was the perfect timing for 2020. Oh, I've hit that well. Have it that well. So obviously there is another version of the Cobra Speedzone, the Cobra Speedzone. That had the movable weights in there. You could make it a low spin version. You could have it a kind of forgiving version with the weight at the back. How much difference that had? A tiny bit. This is the standard, more forgiving version, the Extreme. As you can see, that weight does move, but there's nowhere to really move it. You would just keep it nice and still. The head profile for me looks fantastic. It does look nice and forgiving. We've got the infinity pool face, or the infinity, whatever they're calling it, infinity face, and it just looks, feels and sounds pretty cool, doesn't it, really? So for me, that is number one in my top 5 forgiving drivers of 2020, and I'm well aware that there are other options out there. There's plenty of drivers that could well have made other people's lists. For me, I can only really test what I have tested. That kind of makes sense. I can only really enter into my top 5 what I have tested. There are a couple of the drivers which I feel like do deserve a mention. The Titleist TS2 was fantastic. I know Spriggsy really enjoyed that one. The Exotics EXS220, that one deserves a mention as well. Again, I could have done a top 10, but then it would have just been kind of 10 random drivers. For me, these are my top 5. Guys, get in those comments below and let me know what are your top 5. These videos always do well. I know you guys do relate to them. So let's have a conversation. Let's have not an argument, but a debate. What shouldn't be in there that is, and what should replace it? Guys, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you have enjoyed that. I'm James Robinson. If you haven't subscribed already, please make sure you do. Leave us a like if you enjoyed it. Hit those comments below. How wrong was I? But apart from that, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.